Welcome to Oracle SQL and PLSQL session. So trigger in Oracle, right? So what is trigger in Oracle? Say for an example, you are working in production environment. Okay, you are working in production environment. You have a table. Then what happen? Who will insert or update the data into the table? Normally, who will insert, update data into the table in production? In prod environment, I'm saying. In production environment, no one will have access to insert or update data into the table. Only system user, not admin. Only system user will insert the record into the table, right? In production environment, system user. So that means the front end application will have a system user. It will go and insert and update all the records. Whatever we are doing this transactions, it will give. DBA, they should not do it actually. They should not update. For an example, you have bank balance. DBA will have access to change the bank balance. Yes, they will have access, but very restricted. Very restricted. Only few people will have access to that main table, but they should not do any changes, right? If somebody is changing anything on this table, say for an example, I'm trying to delete record from this table. It's a production table. I'm trying to delete record from the table. Okay. It's a junior person has trying to delete it, but he forgot to put the where clause. Okay. You assume that some where clause he forgot to put. So that is why whenever we need a delete statement should be executed, always they will say like, you have to take the backup of the table. Okay, always they will say backup of the table, you apply the delete. So normally they will keep the backup like next 1 month. Then they will have some internally they will have purging statement. It will purge the backup tables. But you forget to take the backup also. You are trying to delete and you have committed. It is like a main table. It's a production table. You have committed. See what will happen. See all the data will go right. See all the data you'll lose all the data. If you have deleted or truncated wrongly, then recovering this particular data from backup table, it's very tedious process. And we want to know who has deleted. Okay, which user has deleted and at what time he has deleted all this. Somebody is changing. Okay, somebody else is changing the record in this particular table. Right, record in this particular table. They want to check it. If somebody else is going to update or insert on this table, the system owner should get notified automatically. We are not going to explicitly call that program. Say for an example, procedure, function, packages, we have to schedule it. We have to explicitly call that, right, code. But triggers will automatically get fired whenever any DML or DDL, any operations happens, it will automatically get fired. You are going to the ATM, you are depositing some money, or you are withdrawing some money, or you are transferring money to different account. So your transaction has happened. You are doing some NEFT. Okay, after some time, you will get messages that this particular amount has been deposited to this particular account, right? And you are withdrawing some money from ATM, or you are depositing some money to the ATM, or you are going to the bank and you are doing it. So immediately you will get notified, right? With the messages, with mail, OTP. See, all these are like a trigger event on the database side. Okay, whenever you are doing any transactions on the OLTP, the special kind of event will automatically fire. A trigger is a special kind of stored procedure, right? It's an already stored procedure that automatically executes when an event occurs in the database server. So what is that event? See, that event we have to define whether it is a DML event, VDL event. Okay, so different event we have to define it. See, if it is DML event, yes, whenever DML triggers execute, whenever a user tries to modify data through a data manipulation language, okay, like insert, update, delete statement, table or view. See what happened. One particular person It is a real story. One particular person. So he has production access on the database in the client machine. He did one code deployment. So that code will take 0.0001 amount, some dollar. Okay. It will take from your current account, your bank account. It will store this account to his account. He did the code and has been applied for several months, and he got lot of even crores. Okay, so but it's very, very minimal. You will not find it from your account balance. You will not find it. It's a very minimal amount. See, he did the code changes. It is already happening, and this has been moved to this particular account. Then they were trying to even reconciliation also. They couldn't able to find it. It's a very, very minimal, right? They couldn't be able to find, but they are going for like a month end or the day end balance. So very minimal they are getting from each and every account, and it's like one aggregation is very huge. Like this aggregation, while they are doing reconciliation, they are finding this the aggregation of all the account. We are getting this much amount. They couldn't able to backtrack, and they did it. Okay, so somebody has changed the code, applied it. Because of this, it has been moved. This type of DML operations is happening on the table. Yes, we should get notified. So the system owner will get notified. Say for an example, you are deleting a record from the table, okay, without taking the backup, then we can take, okay, so which record you are deleting? Before deleting the record. Okay, you are trying to delete the record from here. Before deleting the record, fire this trigger. It will take backup of this record to backup table, then it will get deleted. Even if you are deleting this, who has deleted, when it has been deleted, which data had got deleted. So this information will be stored in one of the backup table. So that trigger we have already deployed. If somebody else is trying to delete or modify or anything they're trying to do, you will get notified here, which user, what user. Okay, so that's what the DML, the usage. See, we have 5 different types of triggers. One is DML trigger. So DML, you know, right? Insert, update, delete operation. You are doing it on the table. We want to fire backend. Automatically it gets fired. We are not going to do. So we will tell them, okay, somebody deleting data from this table. Before delete, you take the backup. That's what we will say. Okay, insert into this. So somebody is doing creating the table, truncating the table, renaming the table, or any DDL operations. Okay, then they will go for this DDL operations, DDL trigger, create on the table. System trigger. So what is the system trigger? So you are log on to the system, you log out the system, you are starting up the server, you are shut down the server, and all this. So there's particulars. Say for an example, when you are logging into the system, HR user, okay, at what time you have logged in, what time you have logged off. So all the information I want to capture it by default, you can create this kind of trigger. So mostly as a developer, okay, we will use this DML trigger and instead of trigger. The other triggers, like a DDL trigger, system trigger, the other triggers, compound triggers, it's nothing but combination of all the DML operation. That's called a compound trigger. But this system trigger and DDL trigger will be handled by the DBS, okay, database administrator. So we will see one example for this DDL. A system trigger, we do not have access, but I will explain. Okay, so how to use it. And instead of trigger, it's nothing but I hope you have seen, you have already practiced our views concept. So how many types of views we have? 3 types of we have, right? We have views is nothing but normal view. In normal view, we have simple view, complex view, right? Simple view means view on one single table. Complex view means view on multiple tables. So if you are creating view on multiple tables, the insert operation, we cannot do it, right? Can I insert or update on the view? Is it possible normally? Yes, we can do if it is Simple table, we can do insert and update operations. But if it is a two different tables, complex view, on complex view, we cannot do update operations. But if you are creating insert of trigger, then we can do. So that's what we will have the insert of trigger. So we will see one by one all this clearly. So I hope you are clear. So how many types of triggers are there? So 5 types of trigger. One is DML trigger, DDL trigger, system trigger, insert of trigger, compound trigger. So what is this? We'll see one by one. So Oracle allows you to define procedures. See here, the types of triggers we have normally row level trigger. Two types of triggers are there. One is row level trigger, other one is statement level trigger. So what is row level trigger? Whenever you are going to insert the record, a trigger will get fired automatically. Each row, okay, the trigger will get fired automatically. So this is row level trigger. Statement level trigger means it is entirely for DML statement, DDL statement level, on statement level. Okay, there are 12 types of DML triggers are available. So we have two firing points. So one firing point is nothing but the one is before and after. So what is before and after? See, before insert, I am trying to insert the record into the table. Okay, I'm trying to insert record into the table. This is a one table. I'm trying to insert record into the table. It has some 10 records. Okay, it has some 3 records or 10 records or whatever the number of records you have. Before inserting record into this table, I have to execute some backup. You assume that. That is called before insert trigger on the row level. After insert. Okay, after inserting the record into the table, you have to take the backup. So something, okay, some operations we have to do on this table. Yes, after insert. Somebody has inserted, you have to do it. After updating the record, so you have to send your balance to your customer, saying that, see, after some credit happened, update happened, this is your new balance. So after update, after delete, see, after delete, you will not have the data. The data will get deleted normally, but you cannot get previous data. But after delete, whatever you want to perform, yes, you can perform. So you have 6 different triggers, DML triggers for row level, and 6 different triggers for statement level. There are 12 different triggers will be there for the DML triggers. So what is this? See, what is this DML trigger? Before insert, it indicates that the trigger will fire before the insert operation is executed. So that's the meaning. Okay, so how can I create a trigger? It is also a stored procedure, right? It is a pre-compiled stored procedure. Yes, we'll create or replace trigger name. Create or replace trigger name before insert. Okay, before insert on table name for each row means it's a row level trigger. Okay, for each row means it is a row level trigger. So we do have statement level trigger. So we will make it like a statement. Okay, for each statement, that means it's a statement level trigger. Okay, so we'll see the statement level trigger after some time. Okay, so if you are not mentioning, that will become a statement level trigger. Okay, so this is what for each row means. This row level trigger, it's optional one. Before insert, these options you can make before insert, before update, before delete, after insert, after update, after delete, like row level trigger, statement level trigger. Okay, this way you can undeclare. See here, declare here. So here we have to use declare before begin and declare. You can do the variable declaration, or if you want to make any pragma autonomous transaction, yes, we have to use declare before this declare and in between the declare and begin, you have to use variable declaration. All this. This is called begin. Okay, so begin trigger code. You can write the trigger code. If you want to have exceptions, you can have the exception. When exception is happening, you have to handle it here. Okay, so this is the syntax of the trigger. You should remember all this. So I want to drop the trigger. So you have to drop trigger name. Say for an example, you have one table. This is one table. Okay, so if you have one table, then you have associated trigger. Okay, so you have associated trigger. See this one. If you have associated trigger, if you are trying to drop the table, you cannot able to drop the table. So if you are trying to drop the table, so you cannot drop it. See, first you have to drop the trigger, then you have to drop the table. Okay, so remember, so first you have to drop the trigger, then only you have to drop the table. So if trigger associated, if you are trying to drop the table, it will say like, so with this table, the trigger has been associated. The syntax for disabling the trigger, yes, you can use alter trigger, trigger name, disable, alter trigger, trigger name, enable, alter table, table name, disable all triggers. You can make it. The syntax to enable all the triggers on a table. Yes, this is what all triggers enable. That's it. You will use the keyword enable. Okay. Say for an example, I'm just creating one table. So what is this? After delete. So table I'm just trying to delete. Sorry, create. Create table after delete. Username, date and time. And I'm just using count. Create table. I'm just creating one table. Customer details. Let's select start from. Okay, I think we have one table here. Customer underscore s underscore customer. Right? I'm just creating one table. Yes, I will create this table here. Customer details. I just created one table. If you go and check in the customer details, some records are there. This is the main table. So this is main table. It is very sensitive table. You assume that we have a sensitive table. So what I'm going to do, I'm just creating one more table here. See, whenever some delete operation is happening in this table, we should take backup to this particular table. Okay, customer backup trigger. In this table, we should take some backup. You assume that select star from SCD underscore customer ID. There is no data. We are just creating. And we should know who has deleted and when it has been deleted. So that information we should know. So for that, I'm going to add two columns in this customer backup trigger. So date of deletion is one column I'm adding, and I'm doing this. Who has deleted this? These two information we have to capture on the table. Okay. So you can go for a lot of other informations. We will see whenever we are going for DDL operations, DDL trigger. So that time I will show you. Okay. So this is what I will go for here. And I'm doing the customer select star from customer backup, right? Yes. See here, nothing is there in the table. As of now, nothing is there. Date of deletion, all this. But how many records there in the customer details table? We have some 5 records are there in the table. Okay. So now I'm going to create a trigger. Okay. So now I'm going to create a trigger. Whenever somebody is deleting the record from here, it should take backup before that. It should insert the record into this table automatically. See, for that, I'm going to write this particular trigger. See, what is this? Create or replace trigger name before deletes. Okay, so I'm trying to delete some record here. I'm trying to delete record here before delete on customer details table, right? On customer details table. Which table we are going to do? On customer details. For each row, one by one. Okay, so wherever you have some, for each row, I'm going to execute this trigger. Yes, for each row. See, these are all like a syntax, right? I do not have any declaration part here. Just I'm going with begin. So insert into. So whenever it is getting fired, this delete operation is happening in this table. I want to insert the data into the backup table. Insert into backup values. I'm just taking these details. See, what is this colon old? What is this colon old, right? This is called the qualifiers. See, what is this? If it is insert, you are doing insert record. You are doing the insert. Okay, you are inserting the record. You will have only new values. After inserting, you will have new values, right? Old and new only you will have. You will not have old and old. Why? Why? Because you are newly inserting, right? For new operation, new insert, colon old, you will not have it. Only new you will have it. So why? Because you are only going to insert, right? Update. See, you are going to update on this data. See, 100 is there here. You are updating as 200. So that means before update, you will have old value, right? 100. After update, you will have new value, 200. So you will have both values. You can take colon old, colon new. That you can take it. You are deleting the card. Say for an example, deleting operations. See, if you do delete operations, so you are deleting it, some records, you have 100. You are trying to delete it. Which value will be there? Old or new? If you are trying to delete, so you will have, if you are trying to delete it, you will have old value only, not new value. See why? Because after deleting, you will not find any new values, right? See, that's what the old and new qualifiers we will say in this way. So whenever we are having a figures, we want to take this, insert into customer backup table values. First, we will go for customer ID, right? Yes, we'll go for customer ID, first name, mobile, right? Mobile, street address. Okay, you have address. So here address, not address one. Address, old dot zip code, old dot country, right? Yes. Then system date. Why system date needed? We have added two columns, right? So date of deletion. When we have delete, when has been deleted and who has deleted. So we are capturing user name who has deleted. See, this is for delete operation. Same way you can go for update operation. Okay. Before update on this table for each row, you do this insert operations. Okay. But I'm going to execute this. You can see this insert operation. You can check this one. There is no data in the table. So, but I'm going to do the trigger. I have compiled it. So I have compiled. Okay. So I have compiled here. So I will take this one here. Okay. I'm trying to delete the record from customer details. See which table I'm trying to delete? Delete from customer details where customer ID equal to customer details, right? You can check here. I'm trying to delete this record or this record. Okay, you assume that this record I'm trying to delete. So where I'm deleting? I'm deleting from customer details. But before that, you see this customer backup. Do we have any record? No. But I'm trying to delete the record from this. This is the only operation I'm doing it. Okay. Somebody is deleting or it's happening. Okay. By default. Okay. I'm trying to delete the record. No, customer ID is invalid identifier. Somewhere we have customer ID. Here, right? Customer ID. I'm trying to delete this customer ID. See one row deleted. From which table we have deleted? We have deleted from customer details, right? Yes, one row has deleted from here. But whatever the deleted record, we haven't inserted any record into any table, right? But if you go here, it'll automatically store in this table. Whether we have fired? No, right? From this table, you can take the backup if you want. So you can execute date of deletion and who has deleted. If you have logged in, yes, your name will be captured automatically. Okay. So any event is happening on the back end. If you want to capture it, yes, you can go for the this kind of operations. So we do have other trigger types. So we have order of trigger execution, then DDL operations instead of trigger, system trigger. So that we will see, and also mutating error. DML trigger we have seen. DML trigger we did for only for delete operations, right? whenever we are doing the before delete, we have performed. Even you can create the same kind of trigger for after update and before update. So anything is fine. Okay, any statement you can create. So based on that old and new, you have to use it. Colon new, you have to use for update operations. It's depends on the different operations. Okay, so just to try that any update operations so that you will get clear idea. Now we will go for DDL trigger. So what is DDL trigger? We have seen already here DDL. So whenever you are doing the DDL operations, altering a table, dropping a table, truncating a table, granting, revoking, auditing, all this will comes under the DDL. So if you are doing that DDL operations on the table, yes, it will get fired. Actually, if you want to make DDL trigger, so this is the syntax of the DDL trigger. Create or replace trigger name after or before you can use. Okay, after DDL operations, before DDL operations, you can do it. And DDL trigger log on, log off for these three same statement. Okay, log on. Okay, somebody else logged into the system, unauthorized user. Yes, we have to make some trigger on database. So entire database level you can make it, or schema level we can make it. See, in our system, we do have only privilege access for the schema level, not on the database level. So that's why I have created on the schema level. In real-time project, who will create this DDL trigger? DBS will create this particular trigger. Okay. So here I will go to this table. I'll just create one table called. So this is a table I have. I will create this table DDL trigger table log. Okay, this is a table. I'm just creating it. Yes, I have created one table. Okay. So what is this? This table will hold these informations like Oracle object name, Oracle user. Okay, which user has truncated the table or deleted the table. Okay, sorry, drop the table, all this. And what is the execution date? What event? Okay, it's a truncate or drop or whatever DDL operations and object type and object owner. Okay, so this information I have to store. So I have created this table and I'm going to create the trigger. Say for an example, I'm going to create this trigger on this particular schema. So what is the schema? HR schema. Create or replace trigger name. It's a DDL trigger after DDL operation. Okay, after DDL operation, we have to perform. It's after DDL on this particular schema, HR schema, begin, insert into this table values. Okay, which object you are truncating and who is truncating, so when, and then event. Okay, which event? See, this will happen. So all this details I'm just capturing. So these are all like keywords. Okay, these are all the keywords like a user or object name, login user, all these informations are keywords. Oracle system keyword. Okay. I want to insert this information. Okay, after this, I'm trying to I'm trying to drop the table. Okay, locations underscore one. This table I'm going to truncate it. There is some data is available on location one. But this table, as of now, there is no data in the table. Okay, I'm going to truncate table name, location one, right? Location, locations underscore one. This table I'm going to do truncate table. So I'm just truncating. After truncating, I will go and check. Select star from this table, right? We'll check it. Yes, nothing is there in the table. If you go and check in this log table, it will show you. See, we are creating only logs. That's it. So location underscore one, this table from the HR schema, that user and system date, today's date, truncate operations. Its object type is table, and on the owner is HR. See, this is the schema name, so which user has truncated or deleted. But this will only log it. That's it. Who has that truncated all this? But if you want to see, even you are truncating it, if you want to take the backup, you have to go for the backup table, different options. Okay, you have to use. So this is what you have to use, the DDL trigger. Okay, DDL trigger. See, first you have to drop the trigger, then you have to drop the associated table. So if you are going to drop trigger name, then you have to drop this particular table, right? See, in this table only it is inserting. This is the trigger associated table. So I'm going to drop this table. Will it allow this table? Drop table name. No, it will not be allowed. So it will show error like check the following error for more information. Okay, necessary actions. So error during the table, internal error. So errors during something we are getting, right? This type of error. See, if you are getting this type of error, it will show you actually. So we have the triggers. That's why we couldn't able to drop it. This is associated table. So if I want to make this one, and you have to drop this trigger, and then you have to go for uh, drop this table. Okay, trigger. First you have to drop this trigger, then drop the table. This is associated table inside the trigger. But if you are dropping the table, DDL trigger we have seen, right? DDL trigger. So on this table, we have created the trigger, right? If you are dropping this table, associated trigger also will get dropped. Customer details, customer trigger, right? This is the customer trigger only we have created, right? What is the trigger we have created? Yes, customer trigger. See, I'm going to drop the table customer details, right? Drop table customer details. I'm trying to drop the table. I have dropped the table, but I haven't dropped this customer trigger, right? If you see this refresh, customer trigger also will get dropped. Clear? See, this is DML operations, but this is different. This is nothing but inside the trigger we have used this table. So that table we cannot drop it before dropping the trigger. If you are dropping any trigger, associated DML triggers will get automatically dropped if you are dropping the table. Okay. So that is one point you have to remember. And log on, log off. Yes, the same way you can do create or replace trigger. This operation we do not have access. So that is why we couldn't able to test it here. Create table name, log on, log off, all this. So we have order of trigger execution. So what is this order of trigger execution? So which trigger will be executed first? Which trigger will be executed second? Row level trigger or statement level trigger? So how it will be executed? We'll see one by one. See here, I'm just creating one table called student. Okay, student number. We have this table. If we have the table, then we will mark this table as student one. Otherwise, this table will get deleted. Okay, there is no table called student. We will create this table. Student number, student name, student date of joining, result. Okay, just I'm creating one table. And I'm creating one sequence. Create sequence name. That's it. It will create from all the predefined value. It will create. So I'm just creating one trigger. Create or replace trigger name. This is the order we have to. Normally, this is the order it will execute before insert on student. Statement level trigger. See why it is statement level trigger? Why? Because I'm not mentioning for each row. If you don't mention this is each row, so that means this insert statement, whatever we are doing insert statement, insert into table name, you are selecting from some other table. That is one single DML operation, right? So if you are going for a DML operation this way, statement level trigger will get fired first. So you can see this first step. Then second one. Second one is row level trigger before insert. This is the order it will make. Then third one, you are making row level trigger after insert or statement level trigger after insert. Okay. Then I'm going with some insert statement. Set server output on, begin and end student. So I'm just inserting one record into this table. That's it. Okay. If you see this, so what is the order it is executed? What is the order it has been executed? The trigger. See, inserting into this table automatically is getting fired. The first one, second one, third one, fourth one. So this is the order it will execute. Statement level trigger before insert, row level trigger before insert, row level trigger after insert, statement level trigger after insert. This is what the trigger will get fired on the database. So if you are doing any operations on insert, okay, insert or update any DML operations. So what is the order it will get executed? So this is the order it will get executed. Okay, if you have triggers on the table, on the same table, multiple triggers are there, right? After insert, before insert, but this is the order it will get executed. So sometimes they will ask in interview, if you have statement level trigger, we have 12 different triggers we have, right? So how it will be executed? First, it will make statement level before, row level after, statement level after. So in this order only it will be executed. So why you have used, we have used sequence number, right? To show you that what is the sequence we have. Just we have appended the sequence number, right? So that's why. More triggers on the same database. This is the order it will be executed. So drop table name. I'm just sorry. I will drop this table. So associated triggers will get automatically dropped.